Good morning, YouTube. Scott Dunnage Garage. Welcome to the next adventure. This trip marks the final chapter of my 3-week solo overlanding adventure across Colorado. And for this last stop, I've saved something special. A trail I've felt called to do for many years. Tackling the T-33 crash site trail is more than just another outing. It's a completion of a major off-roading goal I've held on to for a long time. Because of the rugged terrain, I'll drive part of the way up today, and then tomorrow I'll hike the rest. The route takes me up Bounce School Road before climbing Trail 203, better known as T-33 Trail. Even for those who drive to the very end, the final 200 yards must be hiked to reach the wreckage. On June 27, 1965, this site became the final resting place for Major Curry and First Lieutenant Darby when their T-33 trainer jet crashed here. What remains today stands as both wreckage and memorial, a solemn reminder of the airmen who gave their lives in service of our country. As I close out this journey, I invite you to come along, blending a spirit of modern adventure with a long-awaited goal in a place of deep historical significance. Alright, this is a 3-mile trail, but we're only going up about a mile of it because it is listed as difficult. At about a mile up, there's a little offshoot or side road, and there's a little camp spot marked. We're going to see if we can't get in there, and then tomorrow go for a hike. So at 0.9 miles, we're going to make a turn onto Road 202. That'll be a left turn. According to Onyx, we're on Bunce School Road, which does not coincide with the book. However, the book is saying at 1.1 miles in, there's an intersection where you turn right and go on Road 203 up the hill and continue on the trail. However, that's where it really starts getting difficult for taking the Jeep and the trailer. So we're going to stay on 202.1, continue straight, and in the book, they have a campsite labeled. So we're going to go see if that's available. All right, this is going to be home for the night. Nothing too spectacular. A little late in the afternoon to do the hike, so we'll do that tomorrow morning. And I'm really excited for that. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time. Good morning, let's start our hike. So after getting lost the other day, or misplaced, anytime there's a side trail, I'm starting to put some sort of a marker. That should help me get back. Well, so far we've been coming up this hill. It's rated as a difficult, and I understand why. There's all sorts of obstacles like that, pretty much all the way up. The Jeep would have made it, the trailer wouldn't have. The trail quickly reminds me this won't be easy. Each step uphill leaves me short of breath, the thin mountain air demanding its toll. The sounds of the forest surround me, wind through the trees, the crunch of rock and dirt underfoot, while my mind stays fixed on what lies ahead. This isn't just another hike. It's the final push toward a goal I've carried for years. With every incline, the anticipation builds. knowing that just beyond the climb rests a piece of history and a memorial to two men who never made it home. The struggle makes the moment even more meaningful. The burning lungs, the quiet solitude of nature, it comes together in the steps leading to the wreckage. And with each step, I get closer not only to the site itself, but to completing a journey that I've long dreamed of. We've made it to the end of the driving portion. There is a small staging area here. You could probably fit a couple vehicles. Now it's taken me about an hour and a half to get to this point. I'm not sure how much further we got to go, but let's find out. Ahead lies the wreckage of a U.S. Air Force Lockheed T-33, the first jet trainer used by the U.S. Air Force. This model was developed from the Lockheed P-80 jet fighter. T-33s served the U.S. Air Force from 1948 until the early 1960s and have also served under the flag of over 20 other nations. The T-33 at this crash site was piloted by U.S. Air Force Major J.E. Curry and U.S. Air Force First Lieutenant Donald B. Darby. On June 27, 1965, Major Curry and First Lieutenant Darby had veered from their intended flight path when they collided with the mountainside. Both crew members lost their lives. All right, this area seems to be kind of the main area of the crash site. There's pieces of this jet just kind of everywhere, which is to be expected and understood. If I remember the book correctly, down the hill a little bit from here is where the engine is sitting. So I think we're going to go down and check that out or see if we can find it. But until we do, we're just going to look at some of the wreckage that's up here. We've hiked a couple hundred yards down the hill. I've seen just a couple small pieces of wreckage, but not an engine. It may be further down the hill. I'm at that point where if I go much further down, I really don't want to go all the way back up to get to the trailhead. I think we're going to call it a success being able to see the wreckage, get back up to the trailhead, and then head back down to the Jeep. Yep, I am glad I didn't go any further down, because getting back up to the tail section wiped me out. Well, life's an adventure. As I make my way back down to camp, the sky opens up with an unexpected rain. It's a sharp reminder that in the mountains, you need to be prepared for anything. And today, I'm not. Instead of a comfortable return, I get to finish this hike wet, cold, and humbled by the elements. Alright, it is our last evening of camping out here in the wilderness. Tomorrow we're heading down into the valley. But until then, let's enjoy some dinner. Ooh, that's warm. Good morning. I think it is time to get off this trail and head to our next adventure. Let's go. As I drive off the trail and back to where the pavement begins, my mind is full of memories from the past 3 weeks of adventure. Each trail, each challenge, each quiet night underneath the stars etched into the journey. But as those memories settle in, my thoughts begin to drift towards ideas, goals, and adventures still to come. This may be the end of the series, but it's not the end of the story. It's only the closing of one chapter in a book still being written. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You have yourself a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next adventure.